Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit more about the topic of law of attraction. And my last video was talking about the role of meditation and having the skill of meditative awareness and bringing that into the law of attraction. There is another piece. So, this is more of the magnetic part of like uh, just bringing things to you. So when we talk about the metaphysical, like science, if you will, of law of attraction, um, there are two parts. There is the mental part, which they will call like kind of in some like metaphysical texts, they'll talk about the mental part being the electric part of attracting things via like energy. It's metaphysically happening. And then there is what's happening in your body and having this body based like basically it's like the amount of chi that you have, chi, prana, life force energy in your body is going to form what is the magnetic portion, which is like just as essential as having the right thinking in order to manifest through law of attraction. um, and I feel like this is also very commonly overlooked. Um, and it, you know, it's like so essential that if you only have one part of the process, if you only have the mental part down, you're still not really going to be um, successful or like as successful if you don't have like the magnetism part. So when you have them combined, you have the mental part and you have like the more like physical embodied chi prana life force energy. Those two come together to form electromagnetism. So the mind being the electricity, and then the body prana chi life force energy being the magnetism, and they're both required. Thing is, Joe Dispenza does talk about this, and I can't remember how much he talks about it or like um, I don't know how much detail he goes on to like to talk about it, but I definitely remember Joe Dispenza talking about this, um, where like basically your chi, your life force energy is is basically the energy that you want to build up to send out the message to the universe. Okay? And whatever is in your mind is going to kind of like almost flavor that message that goes out. So you're you obviously want to be building up your chi, your life force energy, so that you can actually transmit the messages to the universe for the universe to bring it back to you. And if you don't have the right mindset, and this is where like traditional law of attraction thinking, um, good thoughts, is going to like kind of program the chi that goes out, that gets transmitted. So you need both. And there's actually a book um, that's called The Art and Science of Personal Magnetism. It was written in like the turn of the century um, by one of like the foremost leaders in New Thought, the New Thought movement. It's one of those like a lot of those books that were written back then about like metaphysical books written about New Thought. This happened, the early 1900s. Books like Think and Grow Rich is a classic text. Um, and this is kind of like these thought leaders are all kind of like in the same movement, and so it's kind of interesting if you really get into like metaphysics and like law of attraction and stuff. These are definitely books to give you some like foundational background. um, but yeah, he goes into like how to cultivate that chi, prana, life force energy so that you do have that magnetic portion coupled with the thought energy to manifest and metaphysically bring what you want into your life. So, one part is, it's a lot about breath, which, if you've done any kind of, Eastern kind of practices like, Qigong or yoga or whatever, it does like, I mean, the link between prana and breath is very clear, right? So breathing is a very important part of it. Um, and then in this book, he talks about how, like, for example, you can do some exercise, and after the exercise, you kind of like build up like the charge of the battery of your life force energy, but then you have to distribute it. And one way of distributing it through your body is stretching. And he's saying in this book that like animals do this naturally, like it when you and also it's not just after exercise, it's after you sleep as well. So we're kind of like it's an animal instinct after we wake up, especially with animals, to stretch. And because you've built up this life force energy in your body, and now you have to distribute it by stretching to the different parts of your body. And I almost like the mental visual that I get from it is like when you're cracking one of those glow sticks or whatever, you have to like crack it to kind of like get it to like light up. I don't know why that, like, somehow this like makes sense in my mind, but you do kind of like have to stretch a little to distribute the whatever the material inside so that it's able to light up. Um, and Yeah, so stretching I remember was a big thing. But definitely like um, the idea of somatic work and just even just connecting to your body is going to be essential to building that life force energy, because if you are not connected to your body, the chi, the prana, it kind of like it leaks out of your body. So it's almost like the first step before building up your chi is like plugging the holes, and plugging the holes of like energy in your energetic um, field. And the holes are coming from your disconnection from your body. And it's unfortunate if you don't even know that you're disconnected from your body and you're just like, like for me, I had a lot of fatigue. Um, and that's one symptom. Um, and anything to do with the root chakra is, probably going to indicate that there's some kind of like leakage or drainage of your chi. Um, but connecting to your body, this is really, really important. It's like the foundational step. And then on top of that, once you're able to really connect with your body and be embodied in like, that felt sense, um, you're able to really feel in connection to the energy within your body. Then on top of that, you can work on techniques to build that chi or that prana life force energy. Um, and then using that energy, then you can use your thought patterns to tell the universe what you want. On like it's almost like prana, the life force energy, is the messenger, and the message is what you're thinking. So you do need to like build up the force of that messenger to even take the message out. Um, but yeah, Joe Dispenza has talked about this. I can't remember which book, but lots of other metaphysical texts about this as well that are equally as fascinating. But I just wanted to put that out there because It's not very common in my experience uh, for people to be talking about this aspect of law of attraction. And it's not going to work if you have low chi in your body. You can try and think, but you're still not going to attract, because it's the chi, the prana, the life force energy in your body that does the attraction. Life force out in the world is attracted to life force. So the more life force that you build up in your body, the more you're just going to be able to attract. So, um, yeah, work on somatic work, and read some of those books. Yeah, connect to your body, build up your life force energy, your chi. Um, yeah. All right. Good luck.